yeah, sometimes you just got to look and see that, it could be worse. So let's just dig in here and make it happen. Hen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to this series of What's on Your Mind, where folk involved in Extension 350 share their thoughts on farm profitability, environmental sustainability, and farmer well-being. And now, let's meet the folk involved for this session.
Hi, I'm George, and this is my wife Peggy Morrison. We are Kaingaroa farmers, which is just a little north of Kaitaia in the far north. We're back onto Rangoonu Harbour. We farm 440 hectares, of which 390 is effective, and we're farming 640 15-month bulls, which we take through to finishing.
Our involvement with E350 came when we were asked to be mentors for Dion Masters, who's farming out at Ahipara. And that's been an interesting exercise to be involved in.
Hi, Peggy and George. Welcome to the series, and it's great to have mentors here to share their view of the world. And so tell us, what's on your mind?
We have various issues, I guess, that are happening at the present. We have pests, which are a problem on the property. We have water issues, which have really tested us, and feed issues, which have been a little challenging as well.
Of those, which would you like to focus on for this conversation?
The water.
Probably the water. The water's been a very interesting one for us. It's how we've managed to get through and what we've done and how we've ended up.
So to help us understand, can you explain what the circumstances are that make it so difficult for you?
Okay, well, with the water, we have the stock supply is supplied by 3 dams. 2 of the dams are gravity feed, and the 3rd dam is pumped. 1 dam feeding the front part of the property, which is probably about a quarter, and the other 2 dams feed the back of the farm, the 3/4. Gravity is the main driver. The challenge was we had a leak in the system, which we didn't pick up. So it was a case of how do we manage this? And what we came up with the answer being a 5,000 litre tank and a 3-inch pump to fill it, transport it about 2.5 kilometres down the property, and we managed to have a good water source from the Mangatete.
Went to take it from the boundary area, and just so fortunate the neighbour said to us, look, just make it easy, come and get it from our place, where he could turn around and basically just on an hour when you first started, and deliver 5,000 litres an hour to a more central point being down on the hill where it could disperse from, which was really good. In those early weeks, he was doing up to six runs a day, like 30,000 litres a day. So it was quite significant travelling and time required to make that happen.
Yeah, we were also in the position where we had big bulls on. We were unable to get the big bulls off. We had them booked in, and it took 6 weeks to get them out.
Yeah.
Probably one of the other issues I guess we have is the where the bulls have got. We've managed to get through without getting in supplementary feed, but in the process, the bulls are probably 30 to 40 kilos behind. And where is that going to take us going forward? Do we take it on the chin and carry on from there? I guess that's the other side, because we run a process. We feed them as best we can, and that's the thing. But it's just a case of how we can fine tune and manage the business going forward as to how that all pans out.
Yeah, because the other thing that we've also discussed is that we've never used nitrogen in the past, but this may be the season where we're going to have to say, well, let's bite the bullet and give it a go and see the outcome of that. But yeah, we'll have to seek some information on that and where to from there.
George, you've had a pretty difficult time with 2 nods, an extreme drought. We've talked about the water issues. No doubt there have been feed supply issues for you as well. What motivates you guys to get up in the morning and go and face it again?
I think the motivation comes from the need to carry on. So you just have to get up and do it. When you're doing it day after day, it does become a little mundane. It's the animal welfare, looking after our animals.
And at the end of the day, when we've ended up with COVID-19 on top of all of this as well, where else in the world would we rather be? Nowhere.
What I hear from you there is there must have been a huge amount of stress on you, particularly George, and no doubt on you too, Peggy. So how do you cope with that aspect of it?
Well, you got to look at the better things in life, Chris. And honestly, we just counted our blessings that in mid-December we had a nod lifted off us. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to look and see that, it could be worse. So let's just dig in here and make it happen. Yeah. Mm.
You're mentors for another farmer in the Extension 350 project. Is there anything that comes from that project that has helped you deal with your own situation?
I think sometimes it's a case of reaffirming what you know and how you go about things.
And I understand you're both mentors.
Yes.
Yeah, we do it together, yeah.
We're a tag team. We bounce off each other. We both seem to come with different skills. Peg is very good at the planning side of things, and I'm the spontaneous one. I look at a problem and nut it out how it's going to work out.
And working with Dion, it's been interesting, to see how he's responded to different opportunities that have presented to his situation as well. And I suppose there's ideas that were brought back from his place to here, and thought about just the way he does things and handles situations as well.
So, George and Peggy, what's on your mind for the future of farming?
I'd like to think the future of farming is looking reasonably positive. Everybody still has to eat, and we're the ones who produce the food, so that puts us in a fairly good position. Mind you, to be a farmer, I think you have to be reasonably optimistic, don't you?
Are there any other matters you would like to put out there for people to consider?
I think we face very interesting times. I think after what, this COVID-19 on top of everything else that we've been through, it's where will the world go to? What will it look like in another 5 years? I think the only thing we can be sure of is it's not going to be what we've known in the past. There's a huge opportunity, I believe, to come out of this, and that's the rural-urban divide that we talk about in this country. Hopefully that's going to change.
Thanks, George and Peggy, for sharing what's on your mind. Obviously, the challenges of farming stick with you regardless of whether you're a mentor or a target farmer. To our viewers, we trust you've liked this and we look forward to your thoughts and comments. In the meantime, go safe, go well.